Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to deal with lesson 4, 5, and 6, unit 3. That is measures of central tendency, things like mean, median, and mode, upper and lower quartile, and of course everyone's favorite standard deviation. So first let's talk about mean, median, and mode. What you have in that lesson is you're going to be given a data set. And this is basically a collection of numbers put together. And you would need to find 3 items first. Mean, median, and mode. Hopefully you guys remember what those are from middle school. If you don't, then mean is all of the numbers added together divided by the number of numbers that you have, right? Number of data points. Median is if you arrange them all in ascending order, from smallest to the biggest, it's the number in the middle, that's median, and mode is the most repeated number. Now, you can, of course, do all of this by hand, and Buzz will teach you how to do all of this by hand, so by all means, go ahead and do lesson 4 and 5. However, there is a much easier way to do this automatically, and to do that is to use Google Sheets. And this is the Google Sheets that I'm going to have, and hopefully you'll be able to find that file as well. And this is what you do. Over here, you put in your data. So I have a whole bunch of data input. Right now, this data is in column A and occupies rows from 3rd all the way to 14th. Okay? This is important to know where your data is. So the first thing I want to do is I want to calculate my mean. In the file that you will find attached, right, it's right here is the mean. And right now it says from A3 to A14, so it's all of these numbers. So the command is already there when you open the file, just to remind you. But this is how this command works, right? To let your Google Sheets know what's going on, before you type in a command, you put in the equal sign always. And then for mean, the command is average. And the question is the average of what? And it's the average of this data that I have over here. So I just select this data and highlight it and close my parentheses. And it automatically calculates the mean for you. It also suggests this autofill. Please hit X. Don't do that. Okay? So, it gives you your mean. You can also add them up if you want to. So, for example, the sum of them, the command would be sum. Once again, I type in the equal sign. This one says the command is coming. Sum is all of the numbers added together. And then I select all the numbers I want to add. Close parentheses, and I'm done. There's my sum. If I want to calculate the median, I do it exactly the same. The equal sign. The command for the median is median. Very easy. And of course, the median of what? And that would be this data. Now, one thing I want you to point your attention to is, in general, when you're calculating the mean, you need to rearrange your data in ascending order to put it from smallest to biggest. You don't have to do that in Google Sheets. It does it for you automatically. So the next one is the mode. Same thing. We put in the equal sign, and then we type in the command mode. Notice all the commands are uppercase. And then I select the data. Close the parenthesis. Done. So here's the deal, right? Once you are working on this, right, you would have different data sets. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller than the other. If I make this data set shorter, I would have to redo all of that, right? So for example, my data set now goes from A3, right, all the way to A10. So I would have to adjust my mean. I would have to say, well, now it goes to A10. I would have to adjust my sum. It's going to go also to A10. And then I would have to adjust my median to A10, my mode. Now you will notice that when I'm going down in the number of numbers, it doesn't seem to affect it so much, but if you go up, you absolutely have to adjust it. So the last but not least is the lower and the upper quartile. And the lower quartile is the place where we start to draw a box whisker plot, right? So very, very, very straightforward. The command for this one is quartile. So equal sign, quartile, all uppercase. Then you select the data. And then you have to specify, is this a lower quartile or an upper quartile? So for lower quartile, you put a comma and you put down 1. And it gives you your lower quartile. Now, here's the unfortunate truth about the buzz. Whoever did the buzz does not know how to calculate quartiles. So the answers you have in buzz are actually all incorrect. So once you calculate your lower quartile, this is how you choose the right answer in the buzz. You choose the number closest to your answer that is smaller to it if we're talking about lower quartile. Now, for the upper quartile, it's exactly the same command. It's quartile. And once again, I select my data range, put comma, and since it's the upper quartile, I put in number 3. And that one gives me my upper quartile. And just like the lower quartile, the buzz actually does not know the right answer. So for the upper quartile, you also choose the number that's closest to your answer, only that's slightly bigger than it. All right, so this is our quartiles, median, mode, mean, even the sum. So the next item is standard deviation. And when you are working on standard deviation and on that table, you actually have to do a table where you have little columns. One of them has x minus x bar. The other one has x minus x bar squared. This is how you do this. X minus x bar means the data point minus the mean. This is exactly what I have over here. So what I'm doing over here, it's a formula I have set up. I take this data point and I subtract the mean for it. Now you will notice that my data set over here, right, is one number longer than the numbers I have over here. Okay? It's one number longer. So what I need is I need to extend this. This is how you extend it. You copy the formula. You literally copy the cell. This is Control-C, or you can do the copy command. And then you paste in the cell below. Okay? You can use the paste command. Now, it's important that when you copy and paste, you do it from the same column. So I cannot copy from the next column. It has to be the same one. So copy, paste. There we go. In both of the columns. However many numbers you're missing. So now I have all 10. So the first question is fill out the column, and then you have to add the sum of all squares. And this one is, once again, you do the sum. But the squares are this column, because you see the square over here. So I would have to select this data range. So once I have done this, the first item that we're going to calculate is variance. And variance is simply the average or the mean of this column. So all I have to do is type in the command for the mean, which is average, and select this column as its data range. And I'm done. Don't do the autofill, remember. Now, you never have to change anything in this cell. This cell will always give you standard deviation. Alright everyone, I hope you all found this helpful and that you will all get good grades on your lessons 4, 5, and 6.